Gurubhyo Namaha. Last week we were talking about, last session, about different prayogams, Akarshana prayogams, Strivashya prayogam, Rajavashya prayogam, all those things we were talking. Now, the next few verses, he's telling about what is the advantage of reciting it every day. What are all the benefits one incur when you recite it every day? Okay. Rahasya Nama Sahasram Yak Kirtayen Nityashah. Every day, when you recite the Rahasya Nama Sahasram every day, Tan Mukha Loka Matrena Muhyet Loka Trayam Muni. We are talking about the benefits of reciting the Sahasranamam every day. Okay. So, Rahasya Nama Sahasram Yak Kirtayan Nityashah. Tan Mukha Loka Matrena Muhyate Loka Trayamune. What happens by all the three worlds, everyone in all the three worlds get attracted by his face. Just he doesn't even need to talk or look at them or anything. Everyone gets. He can, like that Akarshana Shakti of reciting it every day attracts everyone in the three worlds. That is what Tan Mukha Loka Matrena. By looking at his face, they get allured. Muhyate Moham Muhyate Lokatrayam Muni. Normally what happens when we do Sankalpam and things like that, there is some, specifically like Lokatraya Mohanartham, we take the Sankalpam for that. We want to attract everyone in Lokatrayam or in all the worlds. But there is no need for that kind of Sankalpam here. If you recite this Sahasranamam every day, one gets to allure everyone in the three worlds. Yes, Tvidham Nama Sahasram Sakrut Padati Bhaktiman Tasyaye Shatravatesham Nihantha Sarabeshwaraha. When one recites Sahasranamam every day with devotion, Bhaktiman, Padati Bhaktiman, Tasyaye Shatravatesham, all his enemies, Nihantha Sarabeshwaraha. His enemies get killed by Sarabeshwara, Lord Sarabeshwara. He doesn't even need to know who is Sarabeshwara. This will happen automatically, it seems. That is what Bhaskar Rai says. He doesn't even need to know who is Sarabeshwara, but let us know who is Sarabeshwara. Everyone knows about Mahavishnu's avataram of Narsimha. Lord Narsimha, for Hiranyakashipu. To kill Hiranyakashipu, he took the avatar of Narsimha. His anger could not be diffused. Narsimha is Nara and Simha. That is body of the human and face of the lion. Nara Simha. His anger could not be diffused even after Hiranyakashipu was killed. So all the worlds were getting jitters because of that anger. Everyone goes and appeals to Shiva, says like, you are the only one who can do it, because Mahavishnu, nobody could appease him so much that all the worlds are really trembling because of his anger. So Shiva took the form of Sarabeshwara. Narsimha is Nara and Simha. Sarabeshwara is Simha, human and a bird. Three together. Sarabeshwara form is the three together. So he takes the form of this Sarabeshwara and fights with Narsimha. So his anger gets diffused and everybody's welfare is saved. What happens? In tantric practices, there is called Narsimha Prayogam, to kill someone. See, Bhagavan came for some good to happen. And these people use it for a different purpose. Their purpose itself is same, to kill somebody. Narsimha Prayogam is done in tantric practices. So for that, as an antidote to that Narsimha Prayogam, they call something like Sarabasalu Vakya Mantra Yogam. Sarabasalu Vakya Mantra Prayogam. That is what it is. The Prayogam is Sarabeshwara Prayogam. They do it as an antidote to Narsimha Prayogam. These are all abhichara karmas. Like, not good one, mainly to kill somebody for malicious intent, with malicious intentions. So what we deduce is, like, reciting Sahasranamam, even if the sadhaka doesn't know about Sarabeshwara, he gets protected by him. Forget about these tantric practices. By just reciting the Sahasranamam, he gets protected by him. The next one, Yo Vabicharam Kuruthe Nama Sahasram Patake Nivartya Tat Kriyam Hanyat Tam Vai Pratyangira Swayam. Now we talked about Abhichara Karma. If someone tries to do Abhichara Karma for a sadhaka, then Pratyangara Devi herself kills him. Kill that person who wants with, like, do Abhichara Karma aiming at the sadhaka. Pratyangara Devi is the Devi mentioned in Adharvana Veda. Adharvana Veda, it's Bhadrakali Swarupam is Pratyangara Devi in Adharvana Veda. That is what is mentioned. And interestingly, Pratyangara Devi and Shulini are the consorts of Sarabeshwara. They are the consorts of Sarabeshwara. Shulini, we have known about her in the Mantrani Devi, that Anga Devate. She was one of the Anga Devates of Mantrani, Shyamala. Shulini is the one who stops people from talking. She can sthambanam, vak sthambanam, she can do it. So Shulini and Pratyangara Devi are the consorts of Sarabeshwara, and here Pratyangara Devi, whatever spells are aimed at a sadhaka, she kills that person. All these things they say, in fact, the Pratyangara Devi Prayogams are all, like tantric practices, are all mentioned in Narada Tantram. There were, quite a few number of verses in that, where they have mentioned how to use that Pratyangara Devi Prayogam. We have seen this before. Ye krura drishtva vikshante nama sahasra patakam tan andhan kuruthe kshipram swayam marthanda bhairavaha. When we saw the Marthanda Bhairava nama number 785, we had the same verse, if someone even looks at the sadhaka in a vicious way, kuduramana parvai. So, Ye krura drishtya vikshante nama sahasra padam. When someone looks at a sadhaka, the one who recites nama sahasram every day, looks at him in a vicious way, Marthanda Bhairava makes him blind. Chipram Marthanda, Swayam Marthanda Bhairava. Immediately. Chipram means immediately. The moment he looks at him, he becomes blind. The Prayogam of this Marthanda Bhairava, mainly it is in this Karnataka and Maharashtra only, Marthanda Bhairava worship is very famous. Bhairala Tantram is there, which describes again the Rudrayamalam and Bhairala Tantram, both describe the Prayogams of Marthanda Bhairava. These are all the Prayogams defined there, but benefits of saying that without doing that Prayogam, how Nama Sahasra Patakam gets benefited by that. You don't need to go for any tantric practices. That is why they are saying all these things. Lord Hayagriva is saying this. Dhanam yo harate chore nama sahasra jhapinah yatra kutra sthitam vapi kshetrapalo nihantitam. If someone tries to seize or steal the wealth or possessions of a sadhaka who resides Sahasranamam, employing some thieves, he doesn't come directly, he sends some thieves to snatch it from him. Lord Kshetrapala will kill him, not these thieves, would kill him. Because he is the chief, he is only sending, no? That is the reason, Kshetrapala. Kshetrapala is also is a form of Shiva, Lord Shiva. We have told about him in the Nama 345 about Kshetrapala. Like he is the form of Lord Shiva. He, when Bhadragali, after the Vadam of Daruka, the demon Daruka, to diffuse her anger, he takes the form of a small baby, infant baby, and then suckles her and suckles her anger along with her milk. That is how her anger comes down. Kali's anger comes down. To protect this world, he does it. So he is called Kshetrapala. Kshetra means this Prapancham. Pala means the one who protects. So Kshetrapala comes like this. He is also a form of Shiva. The story has come in Linga Puranam, and her mantra priyogams are found in lot of tantrams. This particular mantra priyogam, Kshetrapala priyogam, is mentioned in lot of tantrams, many tantrams. Vidya sukhurute vadam yo vidvan namajapina tasya vak sthambanam sadhya karoti Nakulishwari. Now only we talked about Nakulishwari because she does that vak sthambanam. She stops someone's speech abruptly. So if someone tries to argue on Vidvan Vadam yo Vidvan Namajapina means normally what happens in those days, we have seen in the life of all the saints like Shankara, Madhva, what they will have a sabha where they can answer all the questions to prove their theory. So that argument will happen. So if anyone challenges the knowledge of a sadhaka who recites Nama Sahasram, Nakulishwari doesn't even allow them to talk. Vak Sthambanam, she does it. So no one can make any kind of arguments against him. Arresting speech. Actually, her Nakulishwari, I told you, is the Angadevata of Shyamala Devi or Mantrini. And her mantras are actually mentioned in Rig Veda. But the Prayogam is Prapancha Charam karke, there is a tantram. It is mentioned in, her Prayogam is mentioned in the how to make someone stop is the Prayogam. Aimed at Nakulishwari. That is mentioned in Prapancha Charam. Of course, Parshurama Kalpasutram also has mentioned about Nakulishwari Mantram, but it is in the Vaidika way, not in the Tantrika. Yo Raja Gurute Vairam Nama Sahasra Japinah Chaturanga Balam Tasya Dandini Samharet Swayam. If any king antagonizes a sadhaka, king antagonizing the sadhaka, Dandini Swayam herself, she comes and destroys all his fourfold army. Chaturanga Balam Tasya Dandini Samharet Swayam, she herself comes and destroys his fourfold army because he has antagonized the sadhaka. Normally there are the few tactics that when it comes to administration or running, it is not only heading a country or anything, it is for everyone. These three, they say destroying, there are few tactics in destroying one's enemy by a king. Coming to a peaceful agreement, first is peace. The second one is like split and rule, no? Attract the enemies, few of them, and then make them fight with one another. Divide and rule. And then the last one is killing them in the end. That was the end. So all these three applications are done in this prayogams. Dandini prayogam, that is, it is Varahi Tantram itself is a separate tantram, and it is mentioned, all these prayogams are mentioned in that tantram only. Yafpate Nama Sahasram Shanmasam Bhakti Samyutaha. If you reside for 6 months, Shanmasam. Shanmasam, in 6 months, if you recite every day, Lakshmi Chanchalya Rahida Sada Tishtadi Sadgrihe, Tadgrihe. Lakshmi never stays in one place forever. She keeps moving. Chanchalya Rahida. Her quality is like, Swabhava Duradikramaha. Old habits die hard. So, because she doesn't stay in one place. She keeps Chanchalapani. She will keep moving from one place to another. If someone resides in Sahasranamam for 6 months every day, Lakshmi stays in his house or her house all the time. Chanchalya Rahita Sadha Tishtadi Tadgrihe. She stays there permanently in their house. Because normally they say, like, Srividya Upasakas, the world itself is a different world. When you see, like, you can make it out when you enter that place. It is not like a normal this thing. The world is in a different plane. And you can feel the difference. It is not because of Lakshmi or Saraswati, but because of the puja that happens, and then the mantra and the Sahasranamam itself. Trishati, Sahasranamam, all these things, that they give that kind of a vibration. When you enter that place, you will know the difference, that it is not normal. That kind of like, always in the kind of a bliss, it kind of brings you some kind of peace in you. So now 6 months we saw it. Now, Masam Megham Pradidinam Trivaram Yaf Patenarah. 1 month thrice a day. If you recite Lalitha Sahasranamam, Bharati tasya jihvagre range nrutyadi nityashah. It's like a stage. Tongue is like a stage, and Saraswati does natyam in that. I mean, they become so well versed in their talking if they recite Sahasranamam for a month thrice a day. Phalam. Rangam means the stage. Nrutyadi nityasaka means she dances on that stage permanently. Tip of his tongue, like, Saraswati always, we say, like, she stays in the tip, she resides in the tip of the tongue. The learning, actually, we call it as like, there are 4 ways to become an expert in learning field. Ghoshana, chanting loudly. Gunanika. Gunanika means repeating whatever is learned. You have to keep repeating that. And Purvavalokana. Purvavalokana is recollecting whatever was learned. Whatever was learned before, you have to recollect everything. So you can memorize it. Mananam, what we say is like, recalling everything, memory. Patana means it is both studying and teaching. Both called Patana. These are all the 4 ways. But these are all not necessary for a sadhaka, because he has recited 3 times. For Saraswati to dance in your tongue, these 4 ways had to be followed. But for a sadhaka, it is enough if he recites Sahasranamam thrice a day for a month, she automatically comes to him. So now, Ekavaram, 1 week, Padati Pakshamekam Athandritaha. Without Athandritaha means without laziness or without sleep. If for 1 Paksham means 15 days, whether it is Krishna Paksham or Sukla Paksham, brighter part of the lunar days or darker part of the days, Krishna Paksham or Sukla Paksham, whoever resides for 1 Paksham, what happens to him? Muhyanti kama vashaga mrigakshe tasya vikshana. He doesn't need you to take any effort to attract women. By just looking at them, they will get attracted. There are separate sankalpams, like, those days, like mantrikam, when they used to, mantrikam in the sense tantric aspects, when they do it, if they want to acquire a woman, they will do all these prayogams, Trimoham, Strinam Vashikranartham. That is, they do the sankalpam like that and they do the prayogam, so they get attracted to him and he can get married to her. Like, it happens like... these are all practices that has been going on in some parts of our India, and they say, like, reciting Sahasranamam gets the same benefits without going through that.
But all these things will have their karma repercussions also.
When you go for tantric practices, yes.
But if it is
Lalitha Sahasranamam, no. Okay. If it is Lalitha Sahasranamam, because many a times the one who recites is not even aware of what are all the fruits benefits that he is getting. He is just reciting it.
So there is no sankalpa, no need of sankalpa.
No need of sankalpa. That is what he is telling. No need of any sankalpa, separate sankalpam for this or that. Automatically it happens because he is reciting the Sahasranamam. Many are not even aware. Now I am saying this because it is written in the Phalasruti, and we are all getting to know about it one day after reading this. Right? Till that time we have been reciting Sahasranamam as Sahasranamam, because if you say so, like Sahasranamam, why Lalitha Sahasranamam is held so high means, this is the only Sahasranamam that can be used for both tantric and mantric purposes. You can do it according to the Vedas, and you can do it according to the Tantram. You have both aspects in that. It is like having a knife, how you are going to use it.
In your hands.
It is in your hands, right? But what he is telling is, even not resorting to any kind of tantric practices, you get it by just reciting why you want to go through this. So recite the Sahasranamam. That is what he is telling. Why he has to cite all these examples is only for the recite the Sahasranamam. You get all the benefits there. What is there for you to go outside and get something else? So now again he has come to Janma Madhye Sakrut Narah. Yah Pate Nama Sahasram Janma Madhye Sakrun Narah. Tadrishti Gochara Sarve Muchyante Sarva Kilbishai. What happens for the one who resides only once in his lifetime? All the living beings in the vicinity of his sight gets redeemed of their sins. Whoever comes in his vicinity, all the living beings get redeemed of their sins, reciting it only once. Sakrut, Janma Madhye Sakrut. Only one time. Once you have to recite it, and everyone gets blessed because of that. Now the next few verses are going to talk about giving charity. Giving charity, because especially for sadhaka to give charities to someone else, what are all the qualification he has to see, even while giving the charity. Yo veti nama sahasram tasmai dheyam dvijanmane. When the one who is reciting, if he wants to donate to a dvijanmane, means to a Brahmin, annam, vastram, dhanam, dhanyam, Nanyebhyastu gadachana. It should be noted that the person who is getting the gifts from you knows Sahasranamam and recites. Otherwise, don't give. Because you are a sadhaka, you are reciting Sahasranamam. When you are giving, especially during the Shraddham only, we give all these things, Annam, Vastram, Dhanam, Dhanyam, everything. When you give them to a Brahmana, you have to make sure that he recites Sahasranamam, otherwise you will not get the complete benefit. Donations should be noted. Sri Mantra Rajam Yo Vetri Sri Chakram Samarchati. Ya Kirtayati Namani Tham Satpatram Vidurbudhaha. 3 qualifications he is telling. Sri Mantra Rajam Yo Veti. He should be initiated into Sri Vidya. Mantra Rajam is Sri Vidya. Because it is always Vidya, Sri Vidya Mantram is supposed to be the king of all mantras. So it is always called Mantra Rajam. Yantram is called Chakra Rajam because it is the king of all chakras. So this Mantra Rajam Yo Veti, the one who is being initiated into Sri Vidya, Sri Chakram Cha Samarchati, and who worships Sri Chakra worship he does. Ya Kirtiyadi Namani Tham Satpatram Vidurbudha. The one who recites Sahasranamam. These 3 things, qualifications he says. First, he should be initiated into Sri Vidya. And the second one is that he should be worshipping the Sri Chakram. Samarchati. The Sri Chakram Ya Samarchati. Ya Kirtayati Namani. He should be reciting Sahasranamam. He is the best qualified to receive donations from sadhaka. He is the competent recipient. So many times, people who are initiated into Sri Vidya, they don't follow they just receive the mantra diksha and they don't follow the methods like, the format of how you have to be a upasaka. Being initiated into Sri Vidya is one aspect of it. Being a upasaka is another aspect. But they call themselves as Sri Vidya Upasakas because they are initiated into it. So now, because there may be some places where people are initiated into Sri Vidya and have Sri Chakra Puja, but not reciting Sahasranam. They are all Madhyama Kala recipients. They are not like, a competent recipient, no? They are all Madhyama Kala recipient. And the one who is initiated into Sri Vidya and does Namam, they are also called Madhyama Kala. And one does Sri Chakra Puja, people who are not initiated into Sri Vidya also now has Sri Chakram at home. And they recite Lalitha Sahasranamam every day. That is all Madhyama recipients. These 3 are called Madhyama recipients. And only doing the Namam and only having the Chakram and not doing anything is the lowest of all. So when we have to be very careful, that is Chakram plus Mantram, Chakram plus Namam, Mantram plus Namam. These 3 are the mediocre level. The lowest level is only Namam, only Chakram, only Vidya. They are the lowest level. So what they say is, if you want to reap the complete benefit, give it to the worthy one. So when you give donation, you need to also get the complete benefit of donating things to someone. So you reap the benefits completely when you give it to the person who is competent in all the 3. They are the superior most, not the mediocre. That is what the next one is. Tasmai dheyam prayatnena Sridevi priti michchata. You have to take an effort to find a person who is competent in all 3 to get her blessing. That is the only way you are going to get her blessings. So You have to make sure. That is what next one, the next two one, they say you have the right to even question them and test them. How well was they are in Sri Vidya and Nama Sahasram before giving donations. That is saying, Na kirkyati namani mantra rajam na vetiya pashu tulya ya vinyeya tasmai dattam nirarthagam. Na kirtiyati namani, the one who is not reciting, mantra rajam na vetiyaha, the one who doesn't know about Sri Vidya, he is like a pashu, he is like an animal, a four-legged animal. He is not considered a human being. Then, if you are going to give donation to him, it is meaningless. Nirarthakam. It is meaningless to give donation to such person. It is all talking about sadhakas. So we have to be very clear, like, when being a sadhaka and doing it is, being a Sri Vidya Upasaka and doing it is different. And being a regular person and doing it is different. So what he is talking about now is about the sadhaka, what he has to do it. We should not misinterpret it in any way. Vidya vihena pashuhu. The Veda says like that, the one who does not have knowledge is equal to a pashu. So, if you don't know Sri Vidya, then it is like being an animal. So, getting to know or doing the upasana is so important. The next one, what I told you just now, Parikshya Vidya Vidusha Thebhyo Dhadyad Vichakshanaha. Before giving donations, you can even test and examine the person, the recipient, about Sri Vidya. You can test him, know him that he is well versed in Sri Vidya, and then you can give donations to him. Otherwise, it is not. It is mandatory, like a Sri Vidya Upasaka should give donation only to a Sri Vidya Upasaka. It is mandatory that way. Now he is saying, Sri Mantra Raja Sadrisho Yatha Mantro Na Vidyate. There is no mantra in this world that is equal to Mantra Raja, that is equal to Sri Vidya. That is the most superior. No mantra can be compared even to Sri Vidya. Mantra Raja means Sri Vidya. Sri Mantra Raja Sadrisho Yatha Mantra no Vidyate. Mantro no Vidyate. Devata Lalitha Tulya Yatha Nasti Gadodbhava. There is no Devata like Lalita Devi, Lalita Parameshwari. Gadodbhava. He is calling him as the one who is born in a pot. Gadodbhava. There is no mantram like Panchadashi Sri Vidya and no Devi like Lalitambika. No deity like Lalitambika. Ragasya nama sahasradulya nasti tathastutihi. There is no stotram like Lalitha Sahasranamam. These three are like, very clear-cut definition given by Hayagriva. Lord Hayagriva has given this clear-cut definition. This is the only way he is telling Agastya to follow it, because there is nothing equal to this. This is the most superior one, so you follow this. Likhitva pustake yastu nama sahasramuttamam samarchayet satha bhaktya tasya tushyati sundari. To gratify, there are so many people who are not eligible to recite the Sahasranamam because they don't know to do it, or they don't have the opportunity to learn it, or they don't have the qualification to do it. Because in those days, it's only when you are initiated into Sri Vidya you can recite Lalita Sahasranamam. It is not like Kali Yugam, we are saying Nama Parayanam is very important, so anybody can recite. But when in those days, in those Purana Yugas, the three Yugas that went before us, it was mandatory to be initiated into Sri Vidya before you recite Lalita Sahasranamam or Lalita Trishati. Even now, some people have this thing about Lalita Trishati being recited without being initiated into very strong Srividya believers, they still feel like, Upasakas, they still feel they should not do it. But Lalitha Sahasranamam also, in those days, that is what, those who are not initiated in, that is why he is telling like this. Those who are not initiated into Srividya and who are not qualified to recite Lalitha Sahasranamam, Likitva pustakayastu nama sahasram uttamam. You write the nama sahasram. Everyone has the right to write the sahasram in a book. Worship the book. You don't need to recite it. You have the everyone has the qualification to do it, even if you are not a Srividya Upasaka. Okay? Samarchayet sadha bhaktya. You worship that, write it in a book and worship that book. Tasya tushyati sundari. That she gets gratified immensely because you do this. Anupasaka, we call them as Anupasaka because they are also Upasakas. They are also given that kind of a respect, though they are not initiated into Srividya. They are called Anupasakas. What happens when they worship like that in this Janma, next Janma, they get to recite Sahasranama. That is the reason he is asking everyone to write and worship the book. Bahunatra kimuktena shrunutvam kumbhasama. What more to say? Again and again he is saying, I think he is overwhelmed by emotions. What more can be said, hey Kumbhasambhava? But listen, I have got some more to say. Nanena sadrisham stotram sarvatantreshu vidyate. There is no Sahasranamam, there is no stotram which is equal to Sahasranamam in all the tantras. We are talking about tantras. Now the Vaidika worship is over. We are talking about tantras. There is no stotram like Sahasranamam in all the tantras. That is the reason a sadhaka should recite it every day with trust. Tasmat upasako nityam kirtayet idham adarat. That is the reason a sadhaka should recite it every day. Now the next one comes, knowing the meaning of it. Knowing the meaning, understanding the meaning and reciting it is the Uttamam. Learning under a guru, knowing the meaning of every nama is the most superior thing that can be done. That is what he's saying. Like, even if a sadhaka recites only one nama, knowing the meaning fully, then he can reside with Lalitambika in her loka for kalpakoti kala. Till the deluge happens, he can reside with her. So knowing the meaning of even one nama means a lot. That is the Uttamam, Devi Puranam. The verses, I am not here saying the verses because there are plenty that I have also written plenty here, but I'm just going through the meaning of it, like only the meaning. And another one they say that Devi Puranam itself continues to say that reciting Sahasranamam without knowing the meaning of the namas is like offering oblations on an extinguished fire, ashes. Is it of any use? If there's no fire, you just pour ghee on the ashes, it is meaningless. There is no effect on that. You are not going to do the procedure. It is not knowing the meaning and reciting only the Sahasranama is like offering oblations to an extinguished fire, that is on ashes. So no one will, it will not be benefiting you. That is what they say. Like by this, they say it is not benefiting you. So that is the reason you take an effort to know the meaning of each nama and recite it. Though like you will get, it is not that reciting Sahasranama, you will be benefited, but with a depreciation. You will not get the full benefit. Knowing the meaning of the namas and reciting it makes a difference. So that is why they say, like, for the one who needs to learn to recite the Sahasranama and who is not qualified, he has to write and worship the book. So in the next Janma, he will get to recite it. It will take one Janma for him to do the puja, so the next Janma he get to recite it. We have to understand how fortunate we are all. So by reciting it for one more Janma without knowing the meaning, he gets the opportunity to learn the meaning in the next Janma. So the 3 Janmas go and make sure that you take the birth of humans in every Janma. Probabilities. That is what, like, when after writing the entire Saubhagya Bhaskaram, the last this thing Bhaskar Raya himself has written, he is addressing Ambal. He said, let your sight should not turn towards those who has not analyzed this book or at least held it in his hand. The Saubhagya Bhaskaram, the meaning of that. So what it means is, like, people should analyze the meaning of every nama and recite it. If they are not doing it, let you don't turn towards them. Let your sight not fall on them. Amba tvat padayo samarpidam idam bhashyam tvaya gharidam tvan namartha vikasakham tava mudhe bhuyat atatvam bhajad. Yo naina parishilayena, the one who has not examined this, nacha pateti, at least read it, pustakasyaadiva samagraham na karoti, at least held it by the third one, he comes to at least held it in his hand. Tasya lalito pasti vritha jayatha. Let your eyes don't fall on those persons, sight don't fall on those persons. So knowing the meaning and reciting is the most superior, and we should know what we all have got into, and we have all, like, gained by analyzing this. And now reciting the Sahasranamam will be totally a different experience than what it was before. Now we are talking about Sahasranama Archana. Yebir Nama Sahasretu Sri Chakram Yo Archaye Sakrutu. At least once you should perform Sahasranama Archana, like every Nama separately, 1000 Namas, Archana to Sri Chakram. That is what. Now, Sri Chakram so Archaye Sakrutu. At least once. What are all the benefits? Now we are coming with what flowers you can do. He explains everything. What flowers you can do, the methodology of doing it to the Sri Chakram. It is not to the Vigraham. It is to the Sri Chakram you perform the Sahasranama Archana. Here it is, we have to be very clear on that, because there are certain things that do's and don'ts with the Sri Chakram Archana. Whereas in Vigraha Archana it is different. So for Sri Chakra Archana he is mentioning like that. Now we come to that.
But there are qualifications for Sri Chakra Archana also.
Yeah, that is what. Sri Chakra Archana, then Sri Vidya Upasana. First you have to be initiated into Sri Vidya, then you are eligible to Sri Chakra Archana.
So everyone can't do it?
Everyone can't do it. Sometimes what happens, like, if it is all, what I say is, so many times, that is why we give so much importance to Guru, because Sri Vidya, initiation of Sri Vidya Upasana also can modify your prarabdha karmas. A guru knows what are all the prarabdha karma one carries. Nobody can play with the karma. Nobody has the right to play with it. You have to undergo what you have brought in. The baggage, you can ease the carrying, but you cannot unload the baggage. Unload the baggage by going through the karmas. So that is the reason Guru is important, and they know exactly what your Purvajanma vasanas and what are all the karmas you have done in the Purvajanma, so you continue it in this Janma also. You don't get to hear about this if you are not blessed. If you have not carried your karmas from the previous Janma, you don't get to sit and hear about what we are discussing now. Or I don't get to talk about it if I have not done that kind of karma. It is like, there are so many people who are initiated into Sri Vidya also without knowing the meaning of what they are doing or what they have got. You cannot consider them to be an upasaka. Being initiated into Sri Vidya doesn't mean that you are an upasaka. You have to, because Sri Vidya upasana is different. That is the reason they give to the one who will do the upasana, who has got the capacity to do the upasana. There is no other qualification for this. It is only your devotion and bhakti. There is no other qualification for sure. Anybody can do it. Okay? You wanted to ask something else?
No. So it is an opportunity given to those who can actually perform
it.
It's an opportunity.
That is why they say, if you are not initiated into Sri Vidya, and if you want the Sri Chakra Archana to be done, you can depute somebody, do the sankalpam in your name and do the Archana. That is one thing that they have given. You can depute someone and ask them to do the Archana because now many people have Sri Chakram or Sri Meru in their house. If they want to call a Pandit or someone or a Devi Upasaka and make them do the sankalpam in your name and do the Sri Chakra Archana in your behalf. Though you cannot do it on your own because you are not initiated into Sri Vidya, but you can depute someone else to do it for you. That is the leverage that they give. Now we will see what are the flowers that you can use for the Archana. Padmairva, Tulasi Pushpaihi. This is very, very important. Tulasi Pushpaihi. It is only the flowers of Tulasi. Kalharairva. Kalharam means that lilies, water lilies are Kalharam. Kadambaka are the mixed flowers. Champaka, Jati Kusumaihi. Mallika Karavira Kaihi. Utpalair Bilva Patrair. You can use Vilva Patras. Va Kundake Sarabhatalaihi. Anne Sugandhi Kusumai Ketagi Sadavi Mukhai. Any kind of flowers with good fragrance can be used. They have mentioned about Tulasi Pushpam and not Tulasi leaves. You cannot do Sahasranama Archana with Tulasi leaves to Sri Chakra. I use Tulsi leaves for the Navavarna Puja, but not for the Lalitha Sahasranamam Archana, but for the Chaturayana Puja for Mahavishnu. For Mahavishnu, I use Tulsi leaves to worship him for the Chaturayana Puja, but not for Lalitha Sahasranamam. You cannot do Archana with Tulsi leaves for Sri Chakram with Lalitha Sahasranamam. That is the reason they use Tulasi flowers instead of that. The flowers can be used. Jati Pushpam, Arali flower. Karaviram is Arali flowers. Bilva, Ketaki flower is Tayambu. That, the leaf one, yellow color it comes, no? Tayambu. Mullai, that is also Mallika variety, jasmine variety only. And Patali flowers, Patri flowers, Patali Pushpam. I talked about Patali Pushpam in the Patali Kusma Priya. Madhavi Latha or Vasantakala Malligai, they call it as Mallika flowers. And other nice flowers with fragrance can be used for the Archana. Neelatantram has clearly explained to avoid only Tulasi leaves for Sri Chakra Archana. If you don't get flowers at all, at least you can use the leaves of those mentioned flowers excepting Tulasi for the Archana. Okay. Sugandhi Kusumai, that is like, all the, yeah. Then the next one, there is one tantram called Fetkarani Tantram. Fetkarani Tantram. There are a lot of tantrams we have mentioned in Lalitha Sahasranamam. And this Fetkarani Tantram says like, for one nama, only one flower should be put. It should not be put upside down. Take care, even if you are going to do Lakshārchana, take only one flower and put it straight there. No doing it upside down, because it will bring only sorrows if you put it upside down. Even the fruits that we keep, that should be straight, not upside down. We have to take care of all these small things while doing Sri Chakra Archana mainly, and you have to put it not upside down. We should not, that is the reason only for Pushpanjali we take full hands flowers. For Archana we put only one. Then there is one more thing also. When we are doing lot of flowers, different kinds of flowers, you have to segregate them and keep it separately. Only one set of flowers get completed, you go to the next set. You don't mix the flowers. Okay? You have to segregate it separately and use them separately. Tasya punya phalam vaktum na shaknoti Maheshwara. Even Maheshwara cannot explain to you the benefits you reap by doing this kind of archana. Sa veti Lalitha Devi sva chakra rajanam phalam. She herself knows the benefits of this kind of chakra, like archana for the Chakra Rajam, Sri Chakra Archana. She knows the benefits, she knows the extent one gets benefited because of this puja, this Nama Archana. And Anye Kadam Vijaniyu Brahmadhya Swalpamedasa. They say like, Adishakti is the most superior. When she knows everything, what this Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Sada, Shiva and all can tell. They are the Swalpamedasa. They are little dull-witted compared to her. So the Archana has to be like, we have to call it as Dvithari or Trithari. The first, there is a procedure actually how you have to do the Archana. First you have to do the Sankalpam and then the Purvabham, recite the Purvabham, and then do the Nyasam, Rishyadi Nyasam, Anga Nyasam and Karanyasam, Kara Anga Nyasam, all those things followed by the Dhyanam, and then recite Pranavam and then start the Archana. We call it as Dvithari or Tridhari. If you say plainly Hreem Shreem only, it is Dvithari. Aim Hreem Shreem means it's Dvithari. Om Hreem Shreem, Om Aim Hreem Shreem. This is the Tridhari. If you say Aim Hreem Shreem, Dvithari if you say Hreem and Shreem. Before the Nama should be in the fourth case. Fourth case in the sense Matha, Shri Matre Namaha. It comes in the fourth place and ends with the Namaha. After completing all the 1,000 names, then you again recite Pranavam and then go through the Nyasam and the Dhyanam and everything and complete it. So the above said this prayogams, whatever we have done, how the archana should be done, the first three of the purusharthas, it benefits. And the next one, what we are going to talk is like fourth one, liberation. Pratimasam Paurnamasyam Ebir Nama Sahasraiki Ratraya Chakra Rajastam Archayet Paradevata. Whoever performs Pushpa Archana for Sri Chakram in the night of full moon day every month, what he gets. The next one says, Sa Eva Lalitha Rupa Tadruva Lalitha Swayam. He takes the Rupam of Lalitha, and Lalitha looks like him, he looks like Lalitha. There is no difference between the two of them when the one who does Paurnamasya Sri Chakra Archana with Pushpa Archana with Lalitha Sahasranamam. Sarupyam. Na thayor vidye bheda bedakrit papakrit bhaved. The one who finds the difference in these two, no, he incurs sin. There is no difference between them. If someone finds difference in them, they incur sin. Find the differences. This committing, it is a sin to tell that they are different. Mahanavamyam yo bhaktha Sridevim Chakramadhyagam Archaye Nama Sahasrai Tasya Mukti Karaisthita. On the Mahanavami day, whoever worships Sri Chakram, like Ambal residing in the midst of Sri Chakram on Mahanavami day and perform this Archana, gets liberated. I will tell you now the explanation comes about what is Mahaashtami and Mahanavami. That is the two Navaratri they take, Vasanta Navaratri and Sharad Navaratri. The Ashtami and Navami that fall on these two Navaratri days are called Mahaashtami and Mahanavami. So those 2 days performing Archana is very, very important. What happens, like, Ashtami normally is considered to be Shiva and Navami considered to be Ambal. So Ashtami and Navami together, they have to do it. It is not one day. You will not reap the complete benefit if you do it only for Ashtami and only for Navami. You have to do it for both days. So when they do it, it is Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupam. They get it like that. Sometimes what happens, like, Ashtami and Navami fall on the same day. That is even more superior. Ashtami and Navami fall on the same day during this Sharad or Vasanta Navaratri. And at length, Bhaskar Rayar has written about what is important in these two Navaratris. Of course, there are 2 more Navaratris, a Shyamala Navaratri that is going to fall in the now in the Pausha Maharamasham. And then the Ashada Navaratri that falls in Ashada Mahila. That month, then that is for Shyamala Navaratri is for Mantrini and Ashada Navaratri is for Varahi Navaratri. Both are called Gupta Navaratris. They are concealed form of Navaratris. These two are meant for celebration and Upasana. But all are important for a Devi Upasaka.
And what you do during all 4 is similar or it is different based on?
No, it is not. That the thing is, like, for Varagi and Mantrini, you have got a specific Mula Mantram of them that you recite during that time and again do everything. So Navaratri is not different.
Yeah.
Mantrini or Varagi, we only call the names. They are all Lalitha Tripura, so we worship in the same way. But we do the Japam of this particular Mantrini and Varahi during that Navaratri, this thing. But Vasanta Navaratri, all the scriptures, whether it is like, they have mentioned about Devi Bhagavatam, everything has Shakti Rahasyam, everything has mentioned about these two, Vasanta Navaratri and Ashada Navaratri, Sharad Navaratri, Sharada Navaratri. It is extensively, he has written, even I have written it extensively, but I don't want to go through it everything because the same thing is repeated in different scriptures. So this is, so the day, when Ashtami and Navami falls together, it is like worshipping Shiva Shakti together like Ardhanarishwara, which is more auspicious than anything else, say Dharmottaram, Vishnu Dharmottaram. For Ashtami, Devi Puranam says for Ashtami, the puja should be done in the midnight. For Navami, it should be done in the daytime. They are all like, they have taken it from different scriptures. Devi Puranam, Shakti Rahasyam, Vishwarupacharya. Everybody has mentioned like, it has to be done in the midnight and the other one has to be done in the daytime, during the daytime. And Bhavishyottara Puranam says there is no differentiation in that. Everyone born in any varna can do this puja. That I want to make it very clear because according to their dharma, some people do bhali and all. Some people do bhali, some people do naivedyam. Everyone's approach is different. They can do according to their method, how their tradition says, and they can do it. They can perform these two Maha Ashtami and Maha Navami puja in the way it has been according to their Varnashrama dharma. So that is very, very, very important. It is no one is exempted from this. Anybody can do it. It is not like which varnam they belong to. All can do. Yastu nama sahasrena shukravare samarche chakraraje mahadevim tasya punya palam shru. Performing archana on Fridays. What will happen? That is what next he is going to say. Sarvan kaman avapyeha sarva saubhagya samyutam. All the desires will get fulfilled. All the wealth, all kinds of wealth he will get it. Putra pautradi samyukto bhuktva bhogan yatepsithan. Not only him, his entire lineage, Putran, Pautran, everybody and the servants in the house, everyone gets benefited and they enjoy the wealth in this world only. The next verse talks about the after death, but while living he gets to enjoy the wealth, bhogam, everything, not only him, everyone in the house, putra, pautran, samyukto. Even the servants, attendants, everyone together, they can enjoy bhuktva, enjoy this. They enjoy the pleasures of this wealth. Ante Sri Lalitha Devya Sayujyam Ati Durlabham. What happens after death? Ante, she gives the Sayujyam to the, which is very hard to get. Prarthaniyam Shivadhyaischa Prapnotyeva Na Samshaya. What is so difficult even to get for celestials, that Sayujyam she gives to that sadhaka. Because he is doing the Chakra Raja Archana with Lalitha Sahasranamam. What happens, like, immediately Sayujyam also denotes, they say, like, Kaivalya Moksham. Once they die, they all go and live with the celestials, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Maheshwara, with the celestials in their loka. And then after the great deluge, they get absorbed by Sri Lalitha Devi. So they are never reborn again. So they get to stay with her Kalpa Koti Kalam. Till probably the next deluge happens, they get to stay with her all the time. That is like, Brahmana sahase sarve samprapte prati sanchare parasyante krutatmana pravishanti parampadam. After the great deluge, they reach the world of Ambal. They stay till the deluge, they stay in the different lokas with the Brahmadir. And then after the deluge, at the time of great deluge, they may merge with Ambal, they reach the world of Ambal. So this is, we will stop with this, like, the next prayogams go different. what he says, like, there is nothing more superior to reciting Lalitha Sahasranamam. At least, like, once if everyone gets to recite it, it is really beneficial. Forget about the upasaka who can do it every day or every Fridays. So reciting it at least once makes a difference. So Haigriva explains further prayogams which will really hasten the liberation. That will make it, which will make it quicker, to happen it quickly. That is the next prayogams is saying. We will stop with this for today. Guru Pyo Namaha.